Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Uriel. News from Jerusalem, Israel. Ma'am, what is your name?
My name is Alice Sardell. I'm American. I'm visiting.
And what is your business here in Israel?
I'm on vacation. My daughter made Aliyah with my 3 grandchildren, and I'm visiting, just visiting.
And what do you think about the nations, the treatment that they are giving Israel, if you have anything to say on that?
I have a lot to say. I'm an attorney from America, and I believe that Israel is not being treated equally among nations. The problem that I have is that in America we have an expression that says, to the victor goes the spoils. And when the United States came into being, we fought the British. And the land that we won, we kept. And we took land from the Indians and we kept it. And George Washington actually won the Battle of Long Island. And the last I know, Long Island is not going back to the British because the British are demanding that we go back to the borders of another time. So my question is that why is Israel being asked to go back to any borders of any previous time when to the victor go the spoils? They won the land fair and square. Let's move on. Let's move past it. Nobody's asked to turn back their borders, or we would have no more Long Island, no more New York, no more Brooklyn. Come on, let's get with the program. Let's move forward.
67 borders you're talking about?
Yes, no more 67 borders. That's a long time ago. They won that land fair and square. Let's move on. And I do have another issue. I don't understand why when the Israelis get 1 prisoner back, the Israelis have to release hundreds? Thousands? I never heard of anything like that. It's 1 for 1 and 1 for 1 and 1 for 1. That's it. I don't understand the different standards, it doesn't make sense to me as an attorney. I wouldn't tolerate it. I don't think Israel should tolerate it. I don't understand why the different standard. I think it's time that the nations around the world get together and treat Israel equal. It's a democracy, for God's sakes. It's a sister nation to the biggest democracies in the world. So let's get with the program and stand by Israel, and let's change those standards and be equal.
We evacuated 10,000 Israelis or Jews from Gush Katif. We gave that land back to the enemies, Hamas, and 11,000 rockets later, they continue to fire rockets. How much more can this nation put up with?
Well, I think the biggest problem towards peace and the peace process is that the basics have to be laid out. You cannot make peace with countries where their basic premise is to destroy you. There's nothing you're not making peace with anybody. There's nobody on the other side. There's got to be a partner on the other side that's real. Somebody that says, I want to make peace, but we want to destroy you, is not a real partner to do a handshake with. It's not, as an attorney, it's not a real partner to write a document with. I don't know why the world doesn't see that. The very basic premise is yes, we want you to survive, and we want to survive, and we recognize you and you recognize us. And there's another problem, is that the world, and I say a lot of the anchormen and the news media, I think there are a lot of young anchormen, a lot of young news people that really don't know the history of Israel. And they don't know that the Palestinians had opportunities previously in the past to have their own state. But the reason they don't and they didn't was because they didn't want, well, they didn't just want their own state. They wanted to take over all of Israel. And people don't understand that. So when they feel sorry and they say, oh, they don't have their own state, they could have. They chose not to. And Israel had agreed to give them their own state previously. So this piece of history seems to be ignored. And we need to understand the truth in history. I mean, there's a very interesting expression from Mark Twain, and that is, while the truth is tying its shoes, a lie travels all around the world. So let's tell the truth, let's tell the facts, let's move forward.
Now, let me say this to you, that both the Constitution of Hamas and the Constitution of Fatah basically state that they want to inherit the entire nation of Israel, not just a little bit, all of it.
Change it. There's such things as amendments.
So why do we negotiate with terrorists then?
We have to negotiate with neighbors, but we have to negotiate with people that are peace-friendly, where there are defensible borders, and where there's no more turning back to 67. 67 is a long time ago. That's ancient history.
This is Uriel, news from Yerushalayim, Israel. Shalom.